All right, guys, Wayno here from Wayne's World Garage. We were at the sawmill yesterday, and we ran into a couple problems on the sawmill. So we took a look at things, and let me show you what we ran into. It's kind of interesting. At least it's interesting to me anyway. Let me show you what we got. Here's what you got. We've got many pulleys on the Frick Sawmill. We've got this big pulley, and it's part number, this is important. No, it isn't. Part number 1719 Charlie. 1719 Charlie. And the way this part number 1719 Charlie is set up, okay, it's set up so that this thing goes through there, which you can't see because I can't get the nut off. So stand by. So the way this works is this bolt goes through here. You gotta be kidding me. This bolt goes through here. It's like we're missing something for sure. The bolt goes through here. We are missing something. The bolt goes through here. And on these bearings, but we are missing a bushing that goes on here. There's a sleeve that's missing. So what's happened is, look at the wear on this here, the shaft here and here. That's not supposed to be like that. Sorry for the mess here, working on a couple other projects. I just want to real quick see if I can just yank this thing out of here before I... Yeah. Shot. Actually, so I think it moved down a little bit. Yeah, let me just see what we got here. No, it did not. It did not. I don't think it moved at all. It's going to require hydraulic press. I don't know where we're going to borrow one of them. I have to go to the basement. Yeah, this is going to want to have a little bit of pushing through it. But I'm going to try something else first. Let me try the best tool in the world before I go to the hydraulic press. Perfect. So this tool must be designed from Snap-on. That's what it's designed for. Snap-on makes nice little tools. And one of the bearings came with it. So here's what we got. I don't know that bearing should be this loose. My God. It probably hasn't been greased in 30,000 years. But we've got one bushing off, one bearing out, one more bearing to pop out. And that'll be easy. Easy as pie. Boy, oh boy, what a mess. What a mess. Let me just tap a little bit, see what we got here. I don't feel it jumping out on me. It's gotta be coming out. I actually have a bearing tool. I should get the tool, I suppose. Probably be easier to take it out. Let me get the bearing tool. Sorry for the boring part here. Okay. Let's see how this works. I think she's coming. Not very willingly, but... making a mess. Oh yeah, coming right out. Well, maybe not quite right out, you get what I mean. Bearing number 2. I don't know what's wrong with these bearings. I don't know why they didn't work better. You know, I mean, look at this thing. Does that sound about like it should? Probably, just how it's supposed to sound. Give me a break. But the good news is, the bearing tools worked. Old bearings out. New sleeve on the way. Life is good. All right, so here's the dealio. Here's what we got. We got this big pulley here. And inside this big pulley, it's a BAP, Bravo Alpha Papa. You got this little thing, not here. That's this one. Inside this big pulley, there's this bolt. And this bolt goes through this shaft. See how tightly it fits? This is not normal. I can't believe it. It's supposed to be 15/16 here and basically the same there. Mine's a few thousandths of an inch. Holy crow. It clearly had an issue. And then what we've got is, look at how much it's worn down the bolt. That was what it was new. Maybe it was new. You can see this thing is like, it's out of control. But we're gonna fix it. So put new bearings in and it'll be good to go. This guy up here, I've got to find a piece of, where is he? Right here. I need to find a piece of material, which is 1 3/8, I believe. And I can make one of these on the lathe. It'll be fun to do if I've got something. 1.375. Well, I'd call it 7. Yes, 1.375. Drill a hole in it, slot it, tap it. We'd be good to go. If anybody... All right, a quick look into my parts bin and look at what we found. And it's 1/2 inches. And I've got to make it 1.375. That should be pretty straightforward to do on a lathe. So, and I don't believe it's stainless. God bless, I hope it's not stainless. This thing's magnetic, I think. No, it's not. I'll find out whether it's stainless or not. If it's stainless, it'll be hard to cut, but I don't think it is. So this is serendipity or luck. I don't know what that is. But anyway, these pins, which go into these pulleys, this pulley here, we've got 2 of these big pulleys on here. They're BAPs, big American pulleys. The one we've got in there is pretty loose right now. So we happen to be very lucky here because the length of this stock one happens to be 7 5/8 of an inch. And 7 5/8 and 7 5/8 times 2 would be 15 1/4, if I do my math right. And look at this. Oh my God. Well, it's upside down. How are you going to look at it upside down? I don't know, I can. So it turns out this is very exciting. I've got enough to make 2 of these, and that includes cutting one down on the thing. So I better be careful. I don't want to screw this up, but this is cool. I will make 2 of these, and life will be good. All right, so the first thing I do here is I want to put a live thing on here so it spins truly and all that, blah, blah, blah. So what I got to do is drill this little hole in here, and we're going to put Zerk fitting in here anyway. So let's get this going. And hopefully with any luck, it'll be nice. Woo-wee. And now you'll see exactly what we're doing here. So now we go back here. Take this guy off here. Put this thingamajig away after we wipe it off. So this thing right here, it's got ball bearings in it and it keeps this thing steady. I can't remember the right word for it, but put that in here. Crank there. And now, you can see when I crank it down, nice and tight. Beauteous. But we also have the advantage I can come out a little bit further now, because now I've got something to steady it with. So the next thing we do is we take a little micrometer and measure this thing. And there's a million ways to do this, but I've got this little thing here, And it seems to work pretty well. It'll be boring watching me do this, but too bad. But I do want to check. It's 1.5 inches. And it's a good opportunity to use this guy here. Practice it. It's not intuitive. Check that out. You probably can't see it, but it's 1.50 inches. I'll hold it nice and steady for you. So you read it. How do you read this thing anyway? Well, we know it's 1 inch here, and it's 0.50, and that's exactly what we're at. And we need to, let me double check this, what the diameter of this thing is supposed to be, but I think I need to take off a 1/16 of an inch, so it's 1.87, no, I don't know, 1.375. Hang on and I'll check. So it is 1.375 inches is what the original one is going to be, or is, I should say. So what you got to do here is you get out your little brain, and 1.500 minus 1.375, which everyone knows in their head, is going to be 125 thousandths of an inch. That is how much I am going to change the diameter. The radius is going to be less. So I've got to go down 125 thousandths divided by 2. Divided by 2 equals 62.5. I knew that. So this has to turn down 62.5 thousandths of an inch. Oh, we got a long ways. Here. So part of this is getting the feed rate correct. A real machinist knows how to do all that stuff to make it work the first time. But what you don't want, is this. This is what I had when I started going, and I had these little springs coming off of it. And that's because I was not moving along fast enough. If you move along and cut quicker, faster, okay, you'll get small chips. That's what you want. And you look at the color of the chips, that's also what you want. Because they're blue because they're hot. And that's what we're trying to do, is get it to take heat away from the carbide as we go along. So this is about the right speed, the right feed, and all that stuff. And we're moving along swimmingly well right now. So life is good. Okay, I've got these 2 pieces of steel turned down. Now we're going to put some grease fittings in them, otherwise known, AKA Zark fittings. So what do? I'm drilling 11 32nd inch holes in there as far as I can go. I'm starting with a short bit, and then we'll go to a longer bit. And this is for a 1/8 by 27 NPT, National Pipe Thread, Zerk fitting. So that's the story. I'm sticking with it. Let me let it rock and roll here. Actually, let me get a little bit of lubrication here. This is not Passion of the Fruit Smoothie VO5 with Silk moisturizing shampoo. It is oil, cutting oil. This thing out, that thing out. Let's rock and roll. A little bit of lube. Not much, just a little bit. Way too much. Way too much. Nice and sharp. A little more lube. All right, we'll try this guy and let her rip. Now we can see. So here's the story. Here's the original one of these things, okay? And the outside diameter is supposed to be like 1 7/8 or something crazy like that. 1.375, all right? What do we got here, though? If you look at here, We're at 1.330, so we're off by 40 thousandths there, 50 thousandths, way the heck off. And you can see if this thing, if you look at it, hopefully you can see it. Maybe not. Look at this. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's all screwed up. They're worn out. So that I can fix. So I've got two of these machined to 1.375 inches on a lathe. We drilled out the hole for the grease fitting, so I've got to tap that with my 1/8 by 27th inch NPT tap right here. And once I tap them out, I can put these guys in. But the OEM one's got this slot in it, which I need to put the slot in it. So let me do that. All right, so rather than bore you with everything here, this hole here in the center of this thing has got to be 4.375 inches. Not that it matters, because it's a 60 or 80-year-old sawmill. So 4.375 inches, measured, checked. So the good news is when I put a vacuum down here, I could feel it come through the other side. Brilliant. So we're on track. Right. Well, that's cool. So now we've got this little thing here, this little mill with a rounded like end on it. So I can just slot this bad boy up and down with any luck. So let's see how that works out. So what we're going to do is we will take the drill bit out. So I want this up all the way, and I want to just tap this a little bit at first, and then see what happens, how this goes. So I've got it cranked up to, not that you all care, 2400 RPM, revolutions per minute. So and all I'm trying to do is make a little slot for the grease to go through, because that's what they had before. So there you go. So I am going to go to the center again, which should be 0. Maybe go down another, let's see, 10 thousandths and see what happens here. Wonderful. Wonderful. So I didn't measure this, but I'm going to make it about what the other one was. So let's go up a little bit more. And I should, let's see, go up another 40. All right. Another 20 thousandths, and let's see how she looks. And you can't see it, but I'm trying to go very slowly here because it's carbide. I don't want to just break it. And it's such a small tool, I have a hard time getting a feel for it, how much pressure I'm putting on it. And you can't see the digital readout, but I'll go to 0. I zeroized it here. And now we come back. Now, if this was a production shop, I'd be flooding it with oil. It's not, and it's carbide, so I'll probably just break it instead. 3 3/4. I'm guessing that's what it's supposed to be. Let's see what it looks like. Cool. Very cool. I'll do a little bit more because it's free and we're having fun. So I went 20,000s. Although 20,000 is probably a good cut. I don't want to go too much more. We are getting very close. I might do one more pass on it. Why not? It's free. Go up around the 30,000s, so it's 75, 85, 95, 105. Woo. All right, next, tap out my 1/8 by 27, 1/8 by 27 inch, and tap out the Zerk fitting 1/8 by 27 inch, and we'll be done. All right, so the next thing here is to take the end of this thing here and tap it for that 1/8 by 27 NPT. That's what this thing says on it, per things. And I already got it drilled per specs. So how do you get these going in straight? Well, if you have a lathe, it makes life a whole lot easier. So what I'll do is like this, put in the lathe. I have my belt released, so if I accidentally turn it on, nothing bad will happen. Then I take this, my tap, 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 put that in here. There you go. And at least this just gets it going straight to start with. That's all I'm doing here. See, and it stopped. No, actually, so what I do now is, and you can feel it, you probably can't see it, I'm turning this in a little bit as I go. No, I'm not. I won't be now, though. And it's starting to cut the threads already. And I have, from my expertise, no, my experience shows that the farther you have this NPT in, the better it's going to be. So I'll turn it in all the way, pretty much. So we'll get it going, but then I'll take it over to the vise where I can secure it and turn it a lot easier. There we go. But now I've ensured it's on straight as an arrow. So what I'll do is loosen that up, slide this guy out, loosen this up. If you haven't already got this memo, always, always, always get in the habit of putting it back. Otherwise, when it flies off, it'll hit you in your face. And that's just not for a fun day. Hasn't happened to me yet. So now I've got it started pretty straight. So now we'll just take this thing and finish tapping it. All you gotta do is turn it in now until it's a happy camper. It's not hard, that's for sure. And I've got some lubrication on here. And like I said, I'll usually turn this in all the way, actually. Let me put a little more lube on here because lube is free. There we go. And what I like to do is do a couple turns, go back a little bit to get the debris out of there, and then we're done. Be downtown brown. Don't know quite how they figure this is 1/8 of an inch. It's a plumbing thing because it's like a 1/4 inch the way I see it, but they claim it's 1/8 of an inch, so I'm sure they know more than I do. There you go. That's about it. Might be able to go a little bit more. We'll see. What I don't mind doing is taking this off and cleaning it up. So let me go out and blow it. don't know why I didn't do this. I'll turn the light on, let you guys see what's going on here. So let me put a little bit of oil on this guy. I'm just tapping him in. So, funny story, hilariously, Wayno's at Napa. I shouldn't say that. Advanced Auto Parts, no. I met the local auto parts store recently, and I said to the guy, hey, I need some Zerk fittings. And the young man at the counter looked at me like I had 3 heads, which I don't. He said, what is a Zerk fitting? And I realized, wow, new cars don't have grease fittings on them. And this guy doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about. So that's as far as I'm going to go in, right to there. And then pull this guy out, we'll be done. And we'll do a little test run. All right, good. Fits. All right, so let me now blow this thing clean and then put it on for good. So, got that all cleaned off there. Make sure my grease fitting is nice and clean. Doesn't have any metal debris on it, because it might have. Put this in here, like that. Ooh, does that fit nice? Beauteous. Crank it down a little bit, and we're going to call it quits. But what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to show you that because it'll put you to sleep, is I will put this on a lathe, and when I'm on the lathe, oh, that's nice. God bless, do I do good work. When I'm on the lathe, I just want to polish it up a little bit. Take off my rough spots because it's hot rolled steel and it doesn't turn real nice. So let me smooth it off now. Well, I could spend all day polishing this thing till the cows come home. But I'm bored. I don't like doing it. Got a hole drilled in here. Got this Zerk fitting tapped in there. Got a little slot in there for the grease to come up. And the way this works is now this goes into here. Now look how loose it fits on this side still. What the hell? Look at this side. A lot better. So it's a low speed thing. What John frickin' Jeep told me, you probably didn't see that. It doesn't fit as tight as I'd like it to. I could do some sort of a bushing, and I might. I gotta think about that, if there's a way to bush it. But what John from frickin' Jeep said to do, he said they normally put bearings in them now. So I might look into putting bearings in this guy and see how hard that is.